Newman starts the chapter with a story about a couple he knew in his first year of graduate school that had twins, a girl and a boy. This couple are what he calls self-defined feminists, and they strove to raise their twins minimizing gender-specific cues in their child rearing, hoping to raise both the boy and the girl with the same opportunities, the same expectations, and the same type of parental encouragement. The twins had a birthday party and got gender-neutral gifts. And after cake and ice cream had been handed out, much to the parents' horror, the children divided themselves into a group of boys and a group of girls. But it was not just that. The boys were playing in full battle mode, making machine gun and explosion noises, yelling, "I killed you, you're dead." And the girls were playing with the geometric toys that had been given and rocking them to sleep in their arms, cooing to them, "Time for baby's nap." And Newman relates to this and says, as much as parents would like to believe that they can completely control how their children turn out, their influence is in fact limited. On their developmental path to their social identities, children acquire information from a variety of sources: books, television, video games, the internet, toys, teachers, and other children, as well as other children's parents, and even strangers they see on the street. Sometimes this information aligns with the messages conveyed by parents, and other times, however, this outside information contradicts and may even eclipse the parents' messages. So the point of this chapter is to look at how we become socialized through our families and through other interactions in our early life. A predominant amount of time being spent by most children at school. So a central question that we need to address here is how and when are we socialized? Becoming socialized, meaning to be fully indoctrinated into one's culture, needs to occur because society has a need for certain functions to be fulfilled. And in order to do that, certain roles and tasks have to be assumed by its members. An interesting aspect of socialization is that it occurs most often before you know it's happening. By the time a person is aware enough about the force of society in shaping their beliefs, a great deal of their assumptions, their beliefs, attitudes, and values have been so deeply internalized that they're generally not examined very deeply. And the family is the first unit of socialization. It's a place where children learn basic rules, or not, and in that way they are still being socialized, and where many life lessons are learned. And when the child reaches a certain age, most will go to school where other children attend, so again they have an environment where more rules, norms, expectations, and attitudes are shaped. Schools provide a social learning environment many hours a day. For some children, spending 6 to 7 hours a day at school and then coming home and spending much of their time watching TV, surfing the internet, or listening to music and engaging in social media, and then hopefully doing a little bit of homework, these children are not interacting that much with their own families even when they're at home. So often there is more social time invested at school than with the family. Newman opened the chapter questioning whether gender-specific rearing could dismantle the general stereotypes and the attitudes and behaviors that go along with the stereotypes of boys and girls. But the question I think he is having you grapple with here is whether the family can ever provide a gender-neutral environment. Even if this is possible, what happens when the child is in the larger social world? They start to interact with other children at some point, and if these children are not raised in a gender-neutral manner, they then expose the gender-neutral child to the standard stereotypes. Socialization is the way that people learn to act and think in accordance with the rules and expectations of a particular society. It's the means by which people acquire important skills and knowledge. One of the most crucial outcomes of the socialization process is the development of a sense of self. How does one become a male or a female, a white person or a Native American, a working class individual, or a member of the upper classes, a heterosexual, or a homosexual? And indeed, a society has a vested interest in getting us to internalize those roles. All societies have certain functions that need to be met, and by encouraging people to fulfill these functions, society ensures its own health. Of course, one thing to ponder is whether certain functions become outdated, and technology changes, and this in turn changes our social arrangements. Norms and values and attitudes from 100 years ago may be completely outdated due to the forces of social change, and our society has changed tremendously in the past 100 years due to incredible amounts of technological advancements.